American presidents have been targeted for assassination more than 20 times in history. 4 presidents, Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, and JFK, have been assassinated. This is a recap of the 8 failed attempts that almost succeeded. In August 1864, President Lincoln was riding in Washington, D.C. at night alone, as he often would, when an unidentified gunman fired a single rifle shot that passed through his top hat, missing him by inches. Nearly 30 years earlier, on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, an unemployed house painter named Richard Lawrence approached President Andrew Jackson and pulled a gun on him, but his weapon misfired. An enraged Jackson closed on his attacker and landed several blows with his cane, but Lawrence was still able to pull out a second pistol and pull the trigger. Incredibly, it too misfired. The Smithsonian Institute later determined that the odds of both pistols misfiring was 1 in 125,000. 3.5 years after leaving office, Teddy Roosevelt ran for president as a member of the Progressive Party. Before a campaign speech in Milwaukee, a saloon keeper shot him once in the chest. Roosevelt's 50-page speech and an eyeglass case slowed the bullet and saved his life. The stubborn Roosevelt, determined he hadn't been mortally wounded, still gave the speech, speaking for 90 minutes and even showing off his bloody shirt to the crowd, declaring that
"It takes more than that to kill a bull moose."
Franklin Delano Roosevelt's presidency was almost over before it began, after a gunman opened fire on him in Miami 3 weeks before he was sworn in. Roosevelt was unhurt, but 4 others were wounded, and Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak was killed. The mayor was an enemy of mobster Al Capone, and it is believed that he, and not FDR, was the target. In 1981, Ronald Reagan was walking back to his limousine in the Capitol when he and 3 other men were shot by John Hinckley Jr., who claimed afterward that he wanted to kill the president to impress then-teenage actress Jodie Foster. No one died, but Press Secretary James Brady was permanently disabled and became the catalyst behind the Brady Bill, which instituted federal background checks for firearm purchasers. 3 months after President H.W. Bush handed the presidency over to Bill Clinton, 14 men believed to be working for Saddam Hussein smuggled explosives into Kuwait to assassinate him with car bombs during a visit to Kuwait University as revenge for defeating Iraq in the Gulf War. The plot was foiled when Kuwaiti officials found one of the bombs and arrested the suspected assassins. In 1996, President Bill Clinton's motorcade was traveling through Manila, about to cross a bridge, when intelligence officers allegedly intercepted a message suggesting that an attack was coming. The Secret Service director ordered a reroute away from the bridge, and an intelligence team later discovered a bomb under the structure. The American government's investigation of the plot revealed that its mastermind was a Saudi terrorist living in Afghanistan named Osama bin Laden. In 2005, George W. Bush was giving a speech in the Republic of Georgia when a man pulled the pin and threw a hand grenade that landed 61 feet from where Bush was standing. However, a red handkerchief that was used to conceal it was wrapped so tightly around it that the firing pin didn't deploy. The attacker melted back into the crowd, but was apprehended months later and confessed to the assassination attempt.